If you think you've done every side quest in Starfield, think again. Here are some of the more obscure side quests you might have missed. First up, Space Frog from Outer Space, probably the most adorable quest in the game. In this quest, you basically have to go around the city of Cydonia hanging up 6 posters of Space Frog from Outer Space, a character created by a child. The child isn't allowed to roam the outpost by themselves for obvious reasons, so they've asked you to do it. You may have about 20 other things on your to-do list, but who are you to say no to a small child? To start the quest, go to Cydonia and enter the mining facility. Follow the path straight ahead until you see the stairs, then turn left. There's a door here that says Lux Condominiums. Go through the door and keep going down the stairs until you see Renee, who is the kid sitting on the ground. Then just talk to them to start the quest. Space Frog from Outer Space is short, but a very nice change of pace from all of the fighting and space dogfights you usually get up to, and once you complete it, you also get a nice new Space Frog poster for your outpost.
Thanks for doing that for me.
Another quest you may not have done in Starfield is the Colander. This is not a set side quest, so it can be difficult to find, and you basically have to stumble upon it, which you can do by heading to the Schrödinger 3 planet. This is in the Schrödinger system. In the Colander side quest, you'll investigate a derelict spaceship floating in the void. It's an incredibly atmospheric side quest that takes about 20 minutes total, but it tells a really involving and really tense self-contained story. It's one of those emergent kind of events that feels really good when you find it yourself, but hey, if you haven't found it by now, that's what this video is for. There are no rewards for doing this quest other than the reward of experiencing it, but saying that, you are free to search the spaceship and loot all of the weapons and high level items after the quest is finished, so you do get rewarded that way. And by the way, there is an alternate way to start this quest, which is by talking to the bartender at the Last Hope Saloon in the town of New Atlantis. You will get 2,000 credits and 100 XP for completing this next very short quest, but it's not about the reward, it's about the journey. Sometimes it's just about polishing up a quest you have missed, and plenty of people have missed the quest called A Tree Grows in New Atlantis. To start this quest, head to the massive tree outside the mast building in New Atlantis and talk to the scientist named Kelton Frush. He'll express concerns about the tree, which according to his scans have liquefied enough that the tree might collapse. This tree has a lot of cultural significance and no one wants to see that happen. To save the tree, Frush wants you to collect the biosensors he's left around the city so he can analyze the data. There will be 4 biosensors marked on your HUD, and all you have to do is pick them up and bring them back to Frush. Although I will say there is a twist when you go to pick up one of them, and it's not as simple as it sounds, but I will leave that for you to discover. And this quest is actually not the end of Frush's story. After completing that first quest, the activity objective reads, check in on Kelton later. This means you basically have to do 1 or 2 other quests until the activity updates. When it does, you can activate the next quest, which is called Out on a Limb, to find a marker leading you back to the location you first found him. Completing that quest unlocks the 3rd and final quest in this quest chain, and it's called Late Bloomer. Doing all 3 will ultimately save the tree and get you around 8,000 credits in the process. You won't find this next quest marked on any mission logs, instead you have to find it organically. But luckily, here's exactly where it is. It's a point of interest called Safe House Gamma, and Safe House Gamma is located in the Andromus system. This is just north of the Narion system, and in the Andromus system we find a planet called Andromas 2. On this planet there is a single point of interest, Safe House Gamma. It's one of those, again, really atmospheric side quests where you find an abandoned location and explore it to see just what the hell happened. And as you're moving through it, it slowly dawns on you that what happened was actually fairly terrifying. I have the full link to the full playthrough of this mission linked above. Another side quest you may have missed in Starfield is Burden of Proof, and it rewards you with the unique Memento Mori pistol. This pistol increases damage the lower lower the player's health gets and deals plus 30% damage on the next attack after hitting a target's limbs. Now, if you've not found this side quest yet, it might be because you've sided with the Crimson Fleet. If you complete the Crimson Fleet faction quest and side with them, this quest will no longer be available. Burden of Proof is actually a side quest within the Crimson Fleet questline, so you'll first start this quest shortly after being inducted into the UC SysDef. It basically sees you turning in evidence to help SysDef, although you can still choose to betray SysDef later. You have to collect at least 15 pieces of evidence and return them to Lieutenant Toft. This evidence is then used to lock up the criminal pirate of the Crimson Fleet. And what I like about this quest is that the more evidence you turn in, the more pirates get jailed. And they're jailed on board the UC ship, so you can go and talk to them whenever you want and really rub their noses in it.
I'd swipe a cred stick for my own mother if it had enough zeros on it.
Here's a Starfield side quest a lot of people missed. It's called Juno's Gambit. You can find it by travelling here. If it doesn't start for you here, however, you can also try travelling to Shoza 3 in the Shoza system, Tau Ceti 3 in the Tau Ceti system, or Khayyam 2 in the Khayyam system. On doing so, you'll see a mysterious ship being attacked by a lone ecliptic ship. Take out the ecliptic ship to save the other one, then hail the ship and dock with it. Once aboard, go and speak to Operative Kambata. They'll explain that the ship is currently housing a rogue AI created by NASA. The AI actually dispatched the previous crew when they tried to install a circuit board to rein it in. What follows is a very thought-provoking quest exploring philosophical questions and man's relationship with technology. And best of all, you can even chat with Juno yourself to determine whether or not it really is human or just a rogue AI. And it's up to you whether you side with the AI or with the ship's crew.
We are friends. Query. Will you change me?
Onto a side quest called Failure to Communicate now. To begin this quest, head to the star system here. Here, you will get a distress call from someone named Alban Lopez. Following the call, land next to his hydroponic farmstead, and according to Alban, he was sent with his family and 3 others to colonize the system, but they were ultimately left to deal with the spacers who regularly attack them. The families have been communicating with each other through satellites, but spacers found them and are using them as bait to attack family ships. So what you have to do is find and repair all of the satellites. After that, you can unite the families and rise up against the spacers, which culminates in an attack on a massive spacer space station. It reminds me a bit of A Bug's Life. And the final Starfield side quest you might not have done is trying to find every Earth landmark in the game. Lots of people just have totally missed this, but one of the most impressive sights in all of Starfield is seeing an actually quite detailed recreation of a famous landmark, which is now weathered and falling down. To find the landmark, you first need to find the snow globe of it, and there are 15 snow globes in total. Finding the snow globe will mark the location on your map. We have landmarks like the Shard, the Burj Khalifa, and the St. Louis Arch. And it's not all limited to Earth. There's even an Opportunity rover on Mars and the Apollo moon landing on Luna. So yeah, definitely go and collect all the snow globes if you haven't already.